Mount Vernon Middle School, happy Saturday to you, November 21st, 2020. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is Mr. Williams, and I want to give thanks in this Thanksgiving season. Parents, thank you so much for your support of Mount Vernon Schools. I want to give thanks to our amazing staff. They have responded so well considering the pandemic. And of course, our students. I'm so proud to be the principal of these wonderful students. And I cannot help but be optimistic about the future. And the reason why I'm optimistic is because I get to work with these great kids. And I know that they're going to grow into great leaders and accomplish so many things in their life that is going to make our world a better place. So, with that being said, I realize it's a very challenging time to be a parent. And I want you to know that this video will give some detail to our MVMS modified schedule. And once again, I will say that it grieves us here at school that we changed the schedule. Once again, we believe in structure, we believe in consistency. We have fought hard to keep our school open. I firmly believe that school being open 5 days a week for our middle school students is so important. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we have had to modify our schedule due to many concerns. And once again, I realize that this is challenging and certainly is disappointing. And I will say, from one parent to another, I have a seventh grader, I have a fourth grader as well. It's certainly not convenient to change the schedule. But parents, I appreciate your support and your flexibility. This change affects my wife and my family as well. And I know it affects your family. So once again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your flexibility. And we are going to get through this together. So the MVMS modified schedule calls for a structured day for students to connect with their teachers and classmates on both in-person and all virtual days. So with that being said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we will have in-person learning from 8:45 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. It'll be a typical day like we've started this school year on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, all students will be virtual. So what does that look like for us? Well, we've had a block 3 model, we call it here at Mount Vernon Middle School, where we have a black day and then we have an alternating gold day. Due to kids being in person on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it leaves us with a need to change our black and gold days. And I realize this is a change for our virtual students who have been virtual all year long. With that being said, we want to make sure, this is fundamental, we want to make sure that our students see their teachers at least once a week, if not twice a week. That is very important to our schedule because a middle school student takes 6 classes. And it's important to know that we have to find ways to schedule so that our students can see all of their 6 teachers during the week. And once again, we are limiting our transitions and limiting our hallway procedures so that we are purposeful in eliminating as much contact tracing as possible and mitigating the coronavirus. So with that being said, we're going to continue with our block 3 schedule. On Monday, November 30th, this is when it begins. And so therefore we will have a black day on Monday, in school, in-person learning. On Tuesday, December 4th, it will be an all virtual day. So with that being said, if you can imagine, if you're an in-person student, your in-person student goes into class, the teacher teaches in person, and then gets them prepared for their all virtual day the very next day. So with that being said, on Wednesday, December 2nd, it's the same type of model. Once again, the student sees their teacher in person, the teacher teaches, gets them prepared for their all virtual day the next day on Thursday. And then on Fridays, we're going to alternate black and gold days, if you notice this schedule here. So with that being said, we have met with our department leaders and we have discussed and we have definitely met and gone over different options. And we feel at this time, this is the best option for us considering the all virtual days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Once again, this begins November 30th and this goes through our first semester, which ends on January 15th. Semester 2 begins on Tuesday, January 19th. That is the Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day. Please keep in mind, parents, that this schedule may continue into semester 2. I certainly hope that it does not. We would love to get back to normal as soon as possible. But once again, we appreciate your flexibility and your support in this time. So what does the day look like for an 8th grader on these Tuesdays and Thursdays? So an 8th grader, their block 1 class begins at 8:30 a.m. It'll last 85 minutes. And then their block 3 class begins at 10 o'clock. And that goes for 85 minutes as well. Our teachers will be connecting with our students. And it may look different every day. There may be video conferencing one day. There may be a simple assignment in one of our learning management systems. And please note that these Black and Gold days will continue, and teachers will establish office hours as well for one-to-one or small group conferencing as well. So basically, our 8th graders take their core classes in the morning, which means math, English, or social studies or science, and then they go to their elective classes in the afternoon. The 8th grade Unified Arts block begins at 1:30. So if you can imagine the day for the 8th graders, they have class at 8:30. They receive help from their teacher. They go to their block 3 class in virtual land at 10 a.m. They have a chance to take a break, work on assignments, and then they see one of their elective classes starting at 1:30. The 7th grade schedule looks very similar to this. Block 1 begins at 8:30 a.m. Block 3 then begins at 10 a.m. And then their Unified Arts block begins at 12:30 a.m. So once again, the core classes, where you see that word core, that is basically, once again, either math, English, science, or social studies. So the students take those core classes in the morning, and then they have their one elective in the afternoon. And of course, teachers will be available for office hours and of course, one-to-one video conferencing or small group video conferencing. The 6th grade schedule, once again, they have their 3 teachers in the 6th grade. They go to their block 1 at 8:30, block 2 at 9:30, block 3 at 10:30 a.m. And those are once again the core classes with their math teacher or their English teacher, and of course their teacher that teaches 2 subjects, science and social studies. And then they move on to the Unified Art block at 11:30 a.m. Parents, once again, we appreciate your support. Once again, if your child has any of these symptoms, please keep them home. Once again, if there's any doubt on whether you should send your child to school or not, please keep your child home. Once again, we want to keep school open, and that is a firm commitment by all of us, and we just thank you for your compliance and your cooperation concerning this. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to call our office. We are happy to help. So with that being said, I realize it's a challenging time, but with that being said, be strong, be courageous, be a fighting marauder, keep fighting for good, and have a great weekend.